Welcome back. You're watching Prime Property. Godrej Properties on the 5th of March announced a brand new commercial property in Mumbai's Bandra Kurla complex with a saleable area of 1.3 million square feet. It's called Godrej BKC. In this building, 250,000 square feet or nearly 20% will be occupied by Jet Airways. Jet is actually Godrej Properties' joint venture partner in this project and will also get 50% of the profits. The two companies had reached an agreement last year. Back in 2006, Jet had won this 2.5-acre land parcel in a public auction for 400 crore rupees. Godrej BKC is being launched at around 27,000 rupees a square foot, and Godrej Properties is hoping to generate nearly 3,500 to 4,000 crore rupees of revenues from this property. Pirojsha Godrej now joins us at Prime Property to talk a little more about this project as well as the company's growth plans going forward this year. Thanks, Pirojsha, for joining us here at Prime Property. I have to ask you about the timing of this project. You have so much riding on it, and yet you're launching it at a time, the commercial real estate market in Mumbai is depressed. We hear about vacancies in the range of 20%. Why didn't you wait for a better time?
A couple of reasons that we've chosen to launch now. One, we actually think the BKC market has held up reasonably well, considered what's happening in commercial markets in other parts of the city and in other parts of India. BKC is probably the only commercial markets where rentals are actually still holding up and haven't seen any decline, because there is a fundamental demand. I think it now has clearly established itself. This project, we think, is actually going to end up being very well timed. We plan to complete the development by the end of 2015. And we actually think that either within 12 months before that date and 12 months after that date, there won't be any other projects completing in Bandra Kurla complex.
Okay, fair enough. But did your contract with Jet specify the timing of the launch? Is that perhaps also a reason of why you're launching now?
No, our intent has always been to launch the project. Our intent has always been to launch the project immediately upon receiving approvals for the development, which is exactly what we're doing.
And what kind of an investment will the Godrej BKC entail, and what will be the impact on your 1,500 crore rupee debt?
Well, a lot of the investment has already been made. We have about 750 crore of debt currently for the project. That debt actually repayment only starts 4 years from now, which gives us ample time to ensure that the cash flows from the development fund it. We don't anticipate any incremental funding requirement for the project. And by that I mean that we think the cash flow we receive from sales in the project will be more than sufficient to cover the cash flow requirements of the project.
You have been in talks with several private equity players for this Godrej BKC project. Does the launch mean that you couldn't get anyone on board? Are you even still looking at that option?
Certainly, we continue to think private equity is a viable option for the project. In many ways, getting the project launched, getting all the approvals for the project, starting construction on the project and opening sales on the project gives private equity investors, we think, quite a good deal of confidence on the timelines of the project, the likely success of the project. So there still remains every opportunity to do a private equity deal, but that is not the primary focus for now.
Okay, Pirojsha, let's shift focus now from the Godrej BKC and talk about your other plans. What's the launch pipeline looking like for 2013?
Yes, I think 2013 will be our biggest ever year from a new launch perspective. We have a number of new launches, including new phases of existing projects, like our project Godrej Garden City in Ahmedabad, Godrej Prakriti in Kolkata, Godrej Summit in Gurgaon. We'll also, in addition, have a large number of totally new projects that we're launching, including 3 or 4 new projects here in Mumbai, a new project in Pune, in Kolkata, in Hyderabad and elsewhere. So I think, we anticipate a very busy launch calendar for the company this year. I think one of the areas we've been most successful over the last couple of years has been on the new business development front, where we added a combined total of about 15 new deals this financial year and last financial year. All of these projects either already have been launched or will be getting launched in the current financial year.
And at what kind of prices will we see these launches? Like, can you give me an idea of your average ticket price?
No, we don't, give a guidance on the particular numbers. A lot of it will depend on the exact phasing of projects, which is decided much closer to the actual launch of the project. So we don't tend to give guidance on either the launch numbers in millions of square feet or average pricing.
You said 2013 will be your biggest year. Are you also perhaps looking to enter new cities?
You know, at the moment, I think our main focus will be on deepening our presence in the markets that we're already in. We feel we're already in every important real estate market in the country. We already have a presence in 12 geographies. Now, there may be some subtle changes to that. For example, we are in NCR, and by that, so far, we've only done projects in Gurgaon. We may look at other markets in the NCR, like Delhi itself, and Noida, but we would consider that, you know, an extension of our presence in NCR. But I don't anticipate, with that exception, any totally new cities for Godrej Properties this year.
Now, you know, given your expansion plan, will your debt go up? Realty companies' high debt is, of course, a big concern.
No, we don't anticipate the number going up. Of course, quarter to quarter, it can move a little bit here and there, but certainly we don't anticipate that debt number going up substantially. We've actually reduced our net debt by about 500 crores over the course of calendar year 2012. We've reduced our gearing level from 2:1 to 1:1. We've created about more than 200 crores of positive operating cash flow in the last 2 quarters. So we don't, you know, think that our balance sheet is at all of a concern. We must remember that our ability to access funds is very strong. Our borrowing cost is still the lowest in the sector, is under 12%. So we are, you know, not at all concerned about our current debt levels.
Right, so no change anticipated as far as debt goes. You know, what about deliveries? Are you, like other developers, perhaps behind schedule?
You know, I think generally we've been very happy with our delivery timelines. Just this week, we handed over the first phase of our project, Godrej Prakriti, in Kolkata to our customers there. We will be handing over within the next few months the first phase of our project, Godrej Garden City in Ahmedabad. Both of these projects have been handed over within the committed schedules. Our project in Ahmedabad actually is currently ahead of schedule. So we've been generally quite happy with the project completion schedules for all our projects.
Okay, so you're happy with your delivery timeline. Thanks a lot, Pirojsha, for joining us here at CNBC TV 18. That's Godrej Properties saying 2013 will be its biggest year. We're unfortunately completely out of time, so we're going to wrap up this edition of Prime Property. See you same time next week.